changing up the order a little bit, making sure they have the right people in the right places, have the champions they want to be able to select. And here we are getting into it. We have Horny Eboys on the blue side this time, and Eugeniuses on the red side. See the band phase go through. I imagine that we're going to see some of the same bands. We're likely going to see the Camille band come out again. We're likely going to see another Olaf or a Trundle band, at least one of the two. But we're also likely going to see a Bard band come out from the side of Eboys, but they'll probably leave Kai'Sa up with the expectation of a first pick. They really want to shove out that Cassiopeia, make sure that the mid laner cannot play this on the side of Eugeniuses. Which means we'll likely see another Azir band coming out. There it is right there. Horny Boys denied that Azir pick game after game. Let's see if Horny Boys put any priority on banning out the Bard, or if they're going to go with their classic bans as they did last time. The Shen was definitely problematic. Shut down a lot of the expected engagements. Now this is a ban that they banned at Athens Online as well, and I got to speak with I think it was Highlight at the time about why they chose to ban that out. I got to speak to Vorto a little bit too, and what they both basically gave me the expectation was that they want to have their expectations set when they go into fights. They don't want any surprises. So they'll take out anything that has an immediate global ultimate or anything they cannot expect coming in that they would they can't expect, for example, the size of the shield, the timing, and it's another cooldown that you have to track. So it just takes a lot of variables out of the game that you don't want to have to worry about. The ban for Trundle comes out once again from Horny Boys. Want to make sure that they can play a tank if they so choose without having that tank busted by the subjugate. And the last ban coming out on the side of Eugeniuses. Will it be the Kai'Sa, or do they have something prepared for the Kai'Sa pick? They're going to ban out that Kai'Sa. Don't want to have to deal with the same thing that they were dominant with in the last game. And we might see a Horny Eboy pick up Caitlyn here, or they might just choose to priority pick their jungler. Skarner's available, Olaf is available, and Zac is available as well, if they chose to priority pick one of those. But like we spoke of first, the Caitlyn's going to be locked in. After the Kai'Sa's taken out of the picture, the Caitlyn becomes very, very strong, and we just want to make sure that we have that picked up for Horny Eboy and make sure that they cannot pick that strong laner. So we're going to likely see a jungle pick from the side of Eugeniuses now. They have their pick of the lot from what's still left available, and they're going to lock in that Olaf for the jungle. Next lock in maybe a top laner, but will likely be a support. That's very interesting. An Ashe locked in. This is something we haven't seen in a while. Ashe kind of lost a lot of power whenever late game ADCs started getting their power spikes earlier and earlier, as Ashe is mainly good for those CC long range engagements, which makes me think they're going to be making up for that lack of damage somewhere in the mid lane and possibly the top lane as well. Looks like they might pick up Zac's Vorto's Zac, excuse me. And Vorto's Zac has been very impressive in previous games. At Athens Online, we saw him make game-changing engagements, amazing let's bounces to get carries time and time again into his team to be bursted out. And he looks for the correct engagements, which is the hardest part about Zac, is ensuring that if you take an engagement, you're not going to be A, too far away from your team for them to help, or B, taking a bad engagement. It's kind of a lot of shots being put on your back to be the shot caller for, as you have to make these split-second decisions on the Zac. Now we're getting Janna locked in for the side of Eugeniuses. Keep that Ashe safe until she can get some items. Make sure that Ashe can hit those long-range stuns. And I would have liked to have seen another playmaking support come out for Doogee Boy here. Maybe something that he can follow up on Ashe engagements while Ashe stays far back and farms with, but it looks like he's just going to try to make sure that the Caitlyn doesn't get the Janna comboed with her so that they get incredibly bullied in lanes. So likely we're going to see some other sort of tankier support coming out to assist the Caitlyn, but Ashe Janna is going to be able to have a little bit more pressure in lane and a little bit more safety in their farming. With the second ban phase coming out, we see the Jax jungle being banned, as Jax, or even Jax top lane being banned out, as Purge the Innocent was on the rise last time. Jupsa was killing it on the Jax, and they ban out the Vladimir as well. So a couple of top lane target bans right here against Jupsa. Make sure that he can't get anything too overpowered or too well scaling. And the Swain, 100% pick ban rate at EU Masters like we were talking about. And the Talia ban is the same follow as last time as well. So a lot of strong players getting banned out here from top and mid lane. And we'll see which one they save the counter pick for on the side of Eugeniuses. They lock in the Kled here. They do not have information on who the enemy top laner is going to be, but it looks like they're going to try for these engagements with the Ashe Arrow follow as possible as well. Or Ashe may arrow somebody from a distance. If it hits, the Kled ultimate comes in. There's not much you can do. There's always going to be follow for the engage, and somebody's going to get picked in this mid game pretty hard if the Kled gets some advantage. And they're going to save their counter pick for the mid lane. Smart choice to do, especially when the Orianna was available. And the Orianna is going to go over to Purge the Innocent. They're going to lock that one in. We've seen Orianna be very impactful throughout the entire tournament. And Orianna is also a relatively safe laner, so we'll see what we have in store to counter the Orianna with from clear space. Fiora locked in for Jupsa Kid. Fiora is a very strong laner with Camille taken out of the picture, and with Jax taken out of the picture, Fiora gets to scale up without having much counterplay in terms of who can scale equally as well. So we're going to likely see a tank come out here, or somebody, or not for the mid lane. We're going to see some high damage coming out here from the mid lane, hopefully. And we see a Rise. So we're having some worries here from the side of Eugeniuses. They're lacking a lot of reliable damage, especially in the early and the mid game, kind of relying on the Kled to get ahead to make some plays around the map, and the Olaf to get ahead to make some plays with most likely Predator to get the Ashe and the Janna ahead, or the Kled ahead to roam as well. A lot of reliance on their jungler here to make some plays for them, as there's not a lot of solo kill opportunities in either of these lanes, and there's a very low damage coming out from the side of Eugeniuses. Now on the side of Horny Eboys, they have a lot of opportunity to scale up with the Fiora, Orianna, and the Caitlyn, and they have great scalers with the Terika and the Zac as well, but that's very reliable scaling damage, whereas on the side of Rise and Ashe, if they get behind, they can get steamrolled very easily. So I expect this game to go pretty long unless Dragon's Olaf can make some things happen around the map early and hopefully shut out the hard scaling coming out from the side of Horny Eboys. We're on the spectator delay. I'm going to take a minute to rest, and we will return inside the game very shortly. Alright, we are loading into the game now. See if I can fix this a little bit again. Alright, coming into the game. Looks like we have everybody in the same lanes that they were before. It's good for me. Makes it a little bit easier to cast. And we're going to see some aggression level 1. Dragon walking up with the Olaf chained axes, but Jupe's Kid also deals a lot of damage with that Fiora passive early on. Gets a deep ward on the blue though, gets to see if Vorto decides to start his blue side here, but likely he'll be starting his red. Still gives the same information though. He'll know which side he's starting and which side he's going to. Nothing out of the ordinary in terms of runes here. Unsealed Spellbook on Rise still. Airy on Purge the Innocence, Oriana. Guardian on Root Claws Taric. And we do have a Kleptomancy coming out from Jupe's Kid, which we've seen a lot less of ever since the Kleptomancy nerfs to the Summoner Spell cooldown reduction, as well as the drop rate from what you get off of Klepto. However, some champions are still very reliable with getting these auto attacks. Since Fiora procs on hits with her Q, she's still very good to do that. And she's always going to be looking for Qs anyways, so it helps a lot to have some sort of reward after hitting your Qs other than just a good trade. And the Ezreal as well still picks up Kleptomancy due to the frequency and safety that he hits his Qs with. So we're seeing standard side starts opposite to each other. Dragon started that red buff, opposite side buff again. He likes to start the top side, whereas Vorto starts bot side to get that stronger leash. And likely we're going to see Vorto go for that level 3 into a possible gank onto Highlight's Kled. Now we're going to see the Olaf do a straight buff to buff into the Gromp, probably looking to a bot lane after that, or possibly just a Scuttle Crab, depending on how the lanes are looking. Both junglers are on the sides of the lanes that their laners are shoving, so it's not going to be too easy to look for a gank on either side. Let me just be looking to farm it up. Like we were saying, both of these team comps scale very well. We see a much stronger mid-game potential from the side of Eugeniuses, thanks to Highlight's Kled engages with Sykes' Ashe ult follow-up, and Olaf's damage as well, especially if he gets ahead. Whereas there is not a lot of reliable mid-game coming out from Caitlyn, who needs at least 3 items to be scaling up. Fiora, who requires to either get ahead or have a few items as well to scale up. The only thing you'd be relying on is Vorto's engages, being able to pull somebody into your team with the Zac and burst them out with possibly a shockwave trap combo. So I expect to see some very early aggression from the Olaf here, and possibly from Vorto as well, to try to make sure that the enemy team cannot scale into the mid game as well as they want to. And here we are looking, Dragon's looking for this bot lane gank as soon as the lane shoves back out, but it doesn't look like he's going to let him. He's just going to go for a wide route around, maybe just doing the Krugs. What a great ward from Rude Claw though, ensuring that the Olaf cannot make his way in. But they know this ward was dropped. Very good look from the bot lane of Eugeniuses. Trading Krugs on both sides of the maps. Vorto is on this top side, hoping to possibly make something happen against Highlight. But likely just going to take this Krugs and keep the pressure on that Fiora so the Fiora can get that early lead on the scale, keep Kled suppressed. And the same thing wants to happen on the bot side for the side of Dragon. Want to keep that Caitlyn Taric down for as long as possible to be able to pressure their mid-game harder. Olaf might look for an early Dragon here. He's one of the few people that can do Cloud Drake this early on. Some aggression on the top side as well, but we do see Dragon soloing this Dragon very early on. He's very low. He's picking for some assistance. It looks like he's going to smite early. He just got his W back up, so the healing might be enough to get him through to it, but it's going to be a close one. He is battling this Dragon. He just lost the attack speed and the healing buff, but he's going to be able to secure it. Just barely. And I cannot stress how close that was for him to slay the dragon, but like we said, Olaf is one of those champions that can do it. Now, they know that Olaf had to solo the dragon, and he likely was very low, so he had to back, which means that Vorto is going to look bot side for a gank while they know that dragon is resetting. Jupsiki going very aggressive on Highlight. Highlight is going low, but he does have Skarl to jump off. Jupsiki cast the W way too early, and Highlight is going to kill him with the flash. Late flash from Jupsiki is going to secure that kill from the side of Highlight. The late flash means that the auto attack follows, and that's how it's always been. Great look from Highlight. Jupsiki misplays, misses the parry by almost a full second and a half, and kind of a rough play there. Highlight getting ahead like he wants to. He's going to try to snowball his lead once he hits level 6. And he already did hit level 6. He's engaging back on the Fiora, who parries the ultimate engage. Kind of a wasted ultimate there, but he does get to shove the lane and get a good back timing. A little bit of fighting happening bot side. Rootclaw exhausts Psyche a little bit early, but Dragon is coming in for the gank. He's got the Predator, and it looks like there's no way Horny Eboy is going to get out of this one. He does burn the heal. Dragon's just going to flash in. Red Smite, auto attack. Horny E-Boy looks for the kill. Flashes away from the damage from Psyche, but Psyche still gets the auto attack off. So the flash was delayed, and he burns a flash and his heal. Still dies, but gets one on the back end. And Rootclaw's going to have to back off the turret. Huge power swing right there in the bot lane in favor of Eugeniuses. We see the CS advantage starting to pile up. Horny Eboy is going to miss this entire wave, and that's going to put a full 15 CS advantage this early on, 6 minutes in for Psyche. Psyche's going to pick up parts of his Essence Reaver most likely. He gets that BF sword. So they are the same in items right now, but extra dagger coming out, that extra 300 gold from Psyche. Fiora still has a CS advantage in the top lane. Jupsiki 15 CS up, just about, so he's not too far behind. Still has the Tiamat versus the Phage, but Highlight on the Kled is still very powerful. Jupsiki does not parry that. I wonder if it was on cooldown. Highlight gets an amazing trade out of this. Highlight's ultimate will be back up in about 30-45 seconds. He might look for another engage, or he might just walk up and look for the EQ combo again, and all in Jupsiki as early as possible. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. We've been ignoring the mid lane, but like all TSM games, the mid lane has just been kind of a farm fest for a bit. Keeping pressure around the sides of the lane so both laners can farm up. And Vorto looking to make something happen to the bot side. Can't find it. Really smart from the side of Eugeniuses to back off there. They don't have vision in the try. They know Zach can engage from a distance, but they still have pressure, and they're going to keep pushing it. Highlight looking for something. Bone plating on both sides burned. And it's definitely a slower game compared to the other ones that we've watched so far. Nothing too massive happening just yet. Nothing too aggressive, and no huge leads coming out from either side. Just CS advantages on the side of Psyche. Dragon's looking for something bot side. They don't have a ward in the tri-bush. Dragon might be able to walk around, but I think what he's going to look for instead is an inlane gank, which it seems as though Rootclaw's prepared for. But he does come around on the tri side, and there's a ward on that red bush that they're going to see him at, but he wants to walk up to save clear space. It's pretty good shockwave coming out from Purge the Innocent, but I'm not sure if it'll be able to stop the unstoppable. Takes out Purge the Innocent. They're going to look for Vorto here. Vorto gets rooted up. The pop is passive. Dragon does not have Smite, so I don't believe they're going to be able to secure this under tower. Oh, he does get the EQ combo back up. Vorto does go down. Rootclaw popping the ultimate to keep Horny E-Boy alive. Jupsiki going aggressive on Highlight. He actually has the possible win here with the ultimate. Grand Challenge not able to proc the last side. A lot of ultimates down around the map. A lot of fighting happening. And ultimately, very nice power swing coming on the side of Eugeniuses. Dragon comes up in about a minute. It's a Cloud Drake. It's something that we might want to look into, making sure that each team has pressure on it, but it's not going to be too high priority. Olaf will probably look to solo it again, as Eboys may not put too much priority on the second Cloud Drake. There's also a lot of pressure on the bottom side. Something I might have missed just a moment ago is that Eugeniuses took out the First Blood Tower on the bottom side, which means they have a lot of pressure. I mean, you can see the vision pressed up. There's absolutely a dark blind for the side of Horny Eboys. Rootclaw not able to get too much vision up in there by himself. It's a little bit risky. They definitely know he's down there now. All he can do is get some defensive wards in, possibly try to drop one on the Dragon so that Dragon cannot take Dragon. Therefore stopping Dragon from getting another Dragon. And we're just going to kind of see some slow, stagnating fights here. This is a little bit more standard from what we usually see. You know, we've been seeing a lot of bloodthirsty things happening, a lot of here or there types of plays, but they're going with the standard lane swap after the kill of the turret from Eugeniuses, sending Psyche and Doogie Boy to the top lane to take out that turret. Alright. Dragon looking for a gank on the mid lane, purges the Innocent. Used the Shockwave to keep clear space away and has to flash out himself, but ultimately mitigates the gank. And Ragnarok was burned for Dragon as well. So flash down on Purge the Innocent. Expect a repeat gank back on Purge the Innocent, what with the pressure coming out pretty heavily from the side of Eugeniuses. Dragon should be able to secure some vision around the area, but mainly they did that so they could secure this next Dragon. Didn't cost them too much. They got a flash out of Purge the Innocent, and Purge the Innocent was low enough to back. What with the bot lane switching, they have full pressure around the Dragon area, and so they secure it, and they're going to look to take down this mid turret right after.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Alright, sorry for the intermittent casting, everybody. Dealing with some production issues right now, but just getting some things hammered out with the different scenes. Back into the game, looking at the state of the game, it looks like we're getting some good vision on both sides, mostly defensive vision from both sides, and we do have a 3,000 gold lead on the side of Eugeniuses. Still have that lane swap going on, trying to get the pressure on the top lane turret now that both the mid lane and the bot outer are gone for Eugenius for the side of Horny Eboys. So they're going to look to push this lead a little bit further. The Predator is back up for Dragon. We're probably going to look to see him make something happen on the top side of the map so they can get this turret. But the bot lane for Horny Eboys have backed, so they might just be able to secure this turret without any contest. They are going to secure this turret without contest. It's going to be a little late to come back from Horny Eboys, so all outer turrets are taken, and they can push for a lot more aggressive vision, a lot more aggressive plays with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow and with Dragon on that Predator. Highlight looking for some aggression on Jupsikid, though. Decides to back off, knows the parry is still up, and Jupsikid right to hold the parry until he absolutely needs it. Vorto looking to go aggressive on Dragon, but Dragon actually just walks on Purge the Innocent. Purge the Innocent pops the Shockwave, but the unstoppable Ragnarok means that nothing's going to happen. There's also a fight going on between Jupsikid and Highlight, but it looks like Dragon just flashes over the Wraith Wall to get out. Highlight and Jupsikid back at it. Highlight still gets the Q off, pulls Jupsikid into him, but Jupsikid with the Grand Challenge might look to fight him under turret, but Highlight, he's going to get his he's going to get Scarl back up before the fight actually finishes, and that's why Rude Claw's coming down to help secure, but Rude Claw going down means that they're one man short in the mid lane, and Purge the Innocent dies to clear space as well. Highlight's going to die to the 3-man Jupsikid Rude Claw Vorto combo, but that's why Dragon pops Rift Herald in the mid lane. Looks like they're going to push for some turrets while they send too many people to chase after Highlight in the bot lane. And really well rotated out from the side of Eugeniuses. Highlight's going to re-engage onto Jupsikid, but he's not going to have his Scarl back up if it gets popped. Vorto jumps away and possibly a miscommunication, but Jupsikid actually just going to be able to 1v1 Highlight. He does not have the damage. He does not have the abilities or the cooldowns back up. He did not have his W passive back up, so Fiora was just able to tap, 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 get that consistent damage off from the Fiora passive that resets about every 2 seconds after you get a hit with it. It almost resets immediately, really. And Kled has to wait for the cooldowns. Not a lot of respect going over to the Fiora here, and so the Fiora picks up that kill. Props to Jupsikid, always playing very consistently, playing very aggressive, and playing confidently. It's a little bit of a power swing, very nice, small power swing for the side of Horny Eboys, but it's not going to be enough. They still don't have any turrets, and Eugeniuses is still making plays every time that Horny Eboys goes in. This is kind of what we saw from the last game too, is that every time that Horny Eboys would take a fight, there would be something else happening on the map that would put Eugeniuses ahead. Even though Horny Eboys might win a fight here or there, get a kill here or there, Eugeniuses still get objectives, and they're even trading kills back with it too. We see Horny Eboys playing a little bit more scared than they usually do. There's a lot of aggressive vision from Eugeniuses, so they're going to have to clear that out before they can make any plays happen. There's a lot of information lacking, and Dragon's just going to walk in and take out that pink ward. Drop his own pink ward, take out another ward. That's how much pressure they have. I mean, it's absolutely impossible for Horny Eboys to make anything happen when they're so blind in the jungle. They have to play safe and hope that Eugeniuses makes a mistake. Looks like an engagement's going to kind of happen here in the bot lane. Both junglers are on the opposite sides of each other. Vorto jumps in. He gets the Q, and he's going to pop the Janna into the team. Doogie Boy goes down. Clear space ultimates in his rise, but he's going to need to run away because their team is lacking right now. Psyche is going to get jumped on from the Zac. The Shockwave comes out, and Psyche gets taken out. Really well done from Purge the Innocent. And Horny Eboy is really making a swing happen here. Dragon's getting chased down. Vorto gets popped, but it doesn't matter because they take out Dragon. And Vorto comes back alive with that cell division. It's a great play from Horny Eboys. In that 4v4, Jupsikid did not even have to make a rotation down or burn his teleport because of how far ahead they were in that fight. It's a great look from Vorto with the flash slam into each other. Was only able to pop the Janna into the team, but that doesn't mean that we're able to secure the rest of the kills. And that means they get a Cloud Dragon out of it too. Cloud Drakes all around, everybody. Seraph's Embrace completed for both mid laners, which is going to be a little bit more important for clear space here. They're going to go aggressive. Doogie Boy actually flashed Tornado's Rude Claw and Purge the Innocent with a great Shockwave to try to disengage. Highlight is also aggressing on the backside against Horny Eboy. He might be able to just one-shot this guy. He's dealing so much damage, uses the ultimate a little bit early, but the Q comes out and Highlight takes out a Horny Eboy. Now is on the backside to hit against Purge the Innocent because he was running away from Psyche and Doogie Boy the entire time, as well as clear space. And Psyche still has that Enchanted Crystal Arrow to kill whoever he wants to. Horny Eboy, Rude Claw, and Purge the Innocent all down. And Jupsikid's taking a turret on the top side, but they are losing too much everywhere else around the map. Jupsikid's going to have to back and try to defend this inhibitor. Although the inhibitor might just be gone, that 4v2 might not be something that they want to take. He's going to back for it, but I think the inhibitor is just going to be taken out here. Root Claw's up, a Horny Eboy is going to be back up, Jupes the Kid is in the area. They might be able to get some trade kills here, but looks like they're just going to look to clear the waves. And that's a really nice counter play from the side of Eugeniuses. Something that we see from Eugeniuses is either they're making something happen on the other side of the map when they get aggressed on, or if they lose a fight, they're immediate to counter that fight. And none of the momentum ever gets to go to Horny E-Boys, so they have to play a little bit more scared, and it's hard for them to play as confidently and as aggressively as they want to when they never get to have the momentum in the game. Eugenius is very smart in how they choose to make plays happen, and they never get discouraged from having one lost play. They just immediately counteract it. It's a beautiful game to watch. All the vision pressure for Eugeniuses on the bot side of the map. That's going to help fuel a lot, or excuse me, it's going to help Rise a lot with the split push. But it looks like he's just going to take that blue and probably go up around Baron. Looks like they're going to send Kled to do that split push. As Rise does not have his teleport anymore, he switched it over to a heal. Looks like they're going to aggress onto Psych. Vorto with the jump in on Psych. Let's bounce right into the 3 members, Root Claw, Horny E-Boy, and he gets taken out. He tried to be saved by Highlight's teleport, but Highlight just teleports in, takes out Horny E-Boy, and both AD carries are down now. Another teleport comes in, but it looks like Doogee Boy might be taking out Root Claw. Doogee Boy himself takes out Root Claw with the help of Highlight, and Highlight still has that ultimate on Kled. Ultimate's in, gets on top of Vorto. Vorto's going to get taken out. He doesn't have cell division anymore, and he is down. Jupes the Kid tries to take out the Janna, but is it worth it? He's down himself. Purge the Innocent mistimed the Ragnarok, did not get the shockwave onto him, just dealt the damage, and Dragon walks out. That's a big momentum play right there, again, for the side of Eugeniuses, and they're going to pressure that into some vision, and they might even go for the Baron here now that Psych is back up. It's going to take a minute for him to get there, and they know that they are doing this. E-Boys might try to counter this, but the shockwave is down. Purge the Innocent wasted the shockwave trying to kill Dragon there, and he gets flashed on by Clear Space, cleanses it out. Clear Space is just going to keep dealing damage to the Baron, and Dragon's going to smite right here a little bit early to keep the health up. He knows that they don't have much contest, and they're able to take it out and just get out of the Baron ring. We're going to see a reset here into probably a lot of momentum into the bot and the top side of the maps. Highlight's teleport is down now, so they have to be a little bit careful about how they want to do this. Make sure they maintain their mid priority with that downed inhibitor, and keep pushing bot lane to get that out, that inner turret. Still a lot of defensive vision up for Horny E-Boys. That's going to have to be cleared out before they can do too much in the way of rotating on the side of Eugeniuses. And we've seen Vorto get a lot of good looks for engagements here, but being counteracted by these plays that Eugeniuses is making, he might be a little bit discouraged in trying to find these engagements. We're going to have to see some very confident engages on Psych and possibly Clear Space as well to be able to make these fights happen, but Highlight is so big that if he's not in the fight, Horny E-Boys might be able to make something happen. They still have to clear out some mid-lane minions, but they're going to rotate down to that bot inhibitor to try to make the defend hold right there. Vorto just walking up is enough to keep them away. Clears out that ward so he can possibly get a jump in. But the wave clear with Purge the Innocent and Horny E-Boy is safe enough. They can't aggress onto that turret too hard. They're going to have to wait for somebody to overextend or for Vorto to look for engagement. And I don't think Vorto's going to try to look for an engagement here. Wow, Vorto does not have any magic resist, so a lot of damage from Clear Space. It's 3-0 and 3. Amazing shockwave comes out from Purge the Innocent, but it doesn't matter. They're still getting aggressed on. Root Claw pops the Cosmic Radiance, walks back in. Vorto gets stopped by the Monsoon off of his elastic slingshot. He's still trying for it, though. Let's bounce as 2 people in. Dragon and Clear Space are going to go down, but Clear Space is kiting it out. Dragon goes down. Clear Space walks away. Enchanted Crystal Arrow comes out, hits a Horny E-Boy. He has to flash away. Psych gets taken out by Purge the Innocent's Orianna, and Vorto's going to go down as well. He pops the cell division, but Clear Space is just going to take him down with the help of Doogee Boy. And overall, we're seeing a 2-for-2 trade happen right here, which is the best they could have asked for. Jupes the Kid, on the other hand, is going to make something happen with the Grand Challenge here. If he can get one more Q proc off, he's going to get it. He's going to die, unfortunately, to the turret. The healing was not enough from the Grand Challenge just popping. A lot of plays happening there. That was overall a 3-for-3 trade. They did lose the inhibitor turret bot lane on the side of Horny Eboys, but overall, they made the hold that they needed to, and they can push back up in their bot lane, in their bot side jungle, I should say, to get this vision back that they desperately need. The Infernal Dragon's still going to go back over to the side of Eugeniuses, and that's 3 dragons for them. The next dragon is still not going to be the final one, as they did start taking dragons very early on. We're gonna see dragon number 5 coming out, which is gonna be a mountain drake, also gonna be highly contested. And we're just seeing small leads snowballing on top of each other, really just compounding for the side of Eugeniuses. Small lead after small lead, and they're taking some even trades here and there, but overall they're still keeping the momentum very high, getting turrets, getting objectives, everything that they need to do to stay ahead in this game that they're doing. They're just playing aggressive at the same time, costing a few kills here and there, not playing perfectly safely, but what fun is that, right? The Rise has completed his Void Staff as well as has the Oblivion Orb now, so there's a lot of magic penetration coming out. And Vorto has not gotten a chance to purchase any magic resist right now, so he's just going to overlap on the armor and try to mitigate damage from every other champion. But Clear Space is going to be dealing a lot of damage to anybody he comes into contact with. So if they want any chance to take him out, they're going to need to pop Clear Space pretty quickly, or he's going to be carrying these fights. He's already at these huge item spikes for the Rise, and nobody else has been able to purchase any sort of resistances to mitigate what he's going to be bringing. Vorto looked for an elastic slingshot there, decides to back off. Highlight and Jupes Kid going at it. Tag after tag. He might pop the Skarl here. Skarl is popped, and Highlight is going to be taken out by the Grand Challenge. Jupes Kid is massive now. There's a Let's Bounce comes out from Vorto, but he didn't find anybody with it, just staving off the inhibitor push. So Jupes Kid's going to take this turret and likely force the backs of Eugeniuses. Good play from Horny Eboys to mitigate some of the momentum that was just used against them. And we're going to have to see a reset come out here from the side of Eugeniuses. With Baron coming up in a minute and a half, we're going to see the side of Eugeniuses get a lot of vision around the top side, pressure in that inhibitor, or in that inner turret, excuse me, on the top side now that the inhibitor turrets are taken out in both the other lanes. And they're going to keep Kled in that bot lane to split push against whoever he needs to. Jupes Kid is so massive, though, he's just going to be able to push out the Kled at any chance that he gets. And they're really on the backs of Jupes Kid at this point. We need to be playing around their split pusher if they want to make any sort of plays around Baron and get this aggressive vision, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to. They're going to try to sneak some vision into the top side jungle to make sure that they know when they're doing Baron, and probably have Jupes Kid teleport in, as he is much stronger than Kled in this 1v1. Kled does have the opportunity to stop the Fiora engagement. He can always use his ultimate, or Fiora teleport, excuse me. He can always use his ultimate to get into range and to knock Fiora up to stop the ultimate, but he will likely die for that as well. So the question is, would it be worth trading that Baron for that kill on the Kled? What we're seeing from Eugeniuses here is the right thing to do, which is they're making sure that there's absolutely no vision possible on the side of Horny Eboys in this entire topside jungle, so that they can take the Baron whenever they want to, or bait it out to get a free fight, or pick more likely. The burst damage on the Baron is relatively high with the Rise being as strong as he is, and with the Ashe having that 3-item spike. They may try to burst it down, but Vorto's in the area. They might look for a steal. They do know that they've started it, as the blue trinket does come out. Highlight looking for Purge the Innocent here. Really trying to just stave off to make sure this Baron can be taken, and it looks like they have taken the Baron Nashor. Vorto just gets popped, trying to find the steal, and they secured, ignoring the Fiora and taking the Baron as quickly as possible. Not much is going to happen off that ace in the hole. But what a really smart play coming out from Eugeniuses. They know they can't split against the Fiora, so what they do instead is they make the push happen immediately. And there's still a lot of fighting going on. It looks like Highlight's going to teleport in. They're just going to give up the inhibitor and try for a base race here. It's not going to look too good with Vorto being down. I don't know if they can defend for 3v5. It looks like they might just look for the end of the game here. Rudeclaw with a great Cosmic Radiance coming down, saving himself, and that's pretty much it. But Jupsikid did teleport in. He's going to look for something. He gets Highlight down. He's going to get rooted by Clear Space and gets taken out by Dragon. Dragon also goes down to Rudeclaw. Rudeclaw's going to get taken down, but a Horny E-Boy dealing so much damage on the backside. Flashes in to take out Psych. It looks like Clear Space is going to ult away. Boy's going to walk through the turret. I don't know if he's going to make it out of this one. He's got another turret to walk through. He might just get executed, but he has that shield up. Vorto's going to jump in. Elastic Slingshot gets him in range. He's going to flash Q. Boy burned that flash as well. He's going to go down. And a great hold from Horny E-Boys on the backs of Jupsikid. Jupsikid making some incredibly impressive plays there. They do lose one Nexus turret. They trade the inhibitors, which is about as much as they can ask for off of that Baron play. But when Jupsikid teleported in to secure the double kill, it was a really amazing hold. Great play from Jupsikid. Once again, trying to put the entire team on his back. Horny E-Boy dealing a lot of damage. Really nice to not see him playing too overly aggressively. Whenever they're behind, it seems like Horny E-Boy definitely plays safer. He did use his flash aggressively there, but it was intelligently to secure those kills. And he's going to be outputting a lot of damage. Getting this 5-item spike almost. It's going to be massive for him. He's going to be outputting a lot more than the Ashe is going to be able to output in the same amount of time. And we got to start being a little bit worried on the side of Eugeniuses here, because Fiora's getting a lot of scaling up. Nobody can split against her anymore. She's going to go top side here. They're still going to secure this other dragon, but as long as the hold comes out from the side of Horny E-Boys for a few more, 3-5 more minutes, the item spikes are going to be huge for Horny E-Boy, for Purge the Innocent as well, and the damage is going to be almost overwhelming. Clear Space still dealing massive damage, 4-0 and 7. He's got to be outputting as much damage as a Horny E-Boy if he wants to be able to match the kind of fighting that they're going to be able to do. Eugenius is looking bot side, trying to oppose the side of the map that Fiora's on, and they know that Jupsikid does not have pressure in that lane yet, and they need to clear out these bot lane super minions. So they intelligently go bot, and Jupsikid backs to make sure they can hold that inhibitor. Does not have teleport up. Does not want to risk any sort of base race situation or his team getting engaged on. So they're just going to run this 1-4 here. Clear Space can always ultimate in whenever he needs to, but he's getting engaged on by Vorto. Jupsikid's also there, but he stuns him. Jupsikid with the Grand Challenge is going to take out Clear Space, and that's all that she wrote, guys. If a Horny E-Boy can stay alive, they're just going to win this fight. Their biggest damage dealer is down on the side of Eugeniuses, and it looks like Psych gets absolutely obliterated by Purge the Innocent, but he was able to take out Jupsikid on his way out. Horny E-Boys with an amazing hold. They're going to be able to defend this last Nexus turret for a little bit longer and pressure up lanes and get some more defensive vision. Great look from Vorto. Amazing Let's Bounce. Being able to let Jupsikid get all the damage off that he needs to and taking out the strongest player of Clear Space. This is what we were talking about at the start of the game. Horny E-Boys is starting to scale up with their very reliable damage of Orianna and Caitlyn. Fiora is a monster split pusher nobody can deal with, and even when she comes back, Vorto can look for the one engagement that just forces off any sort of push. Clear Space can't do the 1-4 split that he wants to because Vorto's engagements are so long range from inside of the base that he can't reliably escape. So he's probably going to stay with the team in a 5-man scenario, looking to keep that mid priority, looking to pressure the open inhibitor bot. And they're just going to try to ignore the Fiora and make plays happen as quickly as possible. Engages happen as quickly as possible with that Enchanted Crystal Arrow and with the Rise Ultimate Snare. Looks like Horny E-Boys is able to push out their mid lane, though. Their inhibitor is about to respawn, and Vorto's looking for an engagement here. He doesn't have any vision on him. He can probably look for something under the turret. That Elastic Slingshot goes a long way. But they have vision where he's walking now, and they know he's looking for it. He's He's gonna Elastic Slingshot away. Dragon was chasing him out. He popped the Predator. They're gonna... he's not a pop the Predator, actually. That's 2 Cloud Drakes. 2 Cloud Drakes with Dead Man's Plate means that his base movement speed is somewhere in the likes of 600, 700. He is running in on that Fiora, though, and Jupsikid is in trouble. He's going to try to make the great escape here. But with Highlight's ultimate on the Kled coming in, there's no way he's going to escape here. Enchanted Crystal Arrow hits too. He uses the QSS, tries to take out Boy, flashes, but does not get that proc off that he wants to. Although Horny Eboys take that mid lane tower, the strongest laner is down, and so they might be prone to some counter pushing here. All of their lanes are shoved in, but it looks like Eugeniuses are going to try to make that mid lane push. Jupsikid comes back up in 45 seconds. Is there anything that he can do if he's not alive for this amount of time? Almost took the bot lane inhibitor with those minions, just pushing up naturally. But Dragon's going to look for the inhibitor. He's way far ahead of his team, but he's just going to use the Ragnarok to escape safely. Vorto jumps in, gets an amazing Elastic Slingshot into a Let's Bounce. Cosmic Radiance comes down on the side of Rude Claw, and it's not going to mitigate too much damage. They're just going to stave off the fight for a little bit longer. Clear Space still dealing a lot of damage. Dragon getting really low. Rude Claw getting really low. Dragon's going to flash away to get out. Rude Claw still alive. Purge the Innocent also taking to 75% health by Highlight and Psych. Vorto getting chunked down very heavily, has to flash out, and that's a lot of summoners burned here on both sides, but it looks like the better got taken from Eugeniuses. They were able to secure that inhibitor, and Horny Eboys have to reset and try to contest this Baron if they don't want it to be the death of them for just the pushes of the minions. It looks like they're going to look for a counter Baron here. While they know that a lot of people from the side of Eugeniuses are low, they're going to try to secure this Baron without them being able to respond. Psych is full health. They still have the Janna available, but Dragon had to back. He runs fast, but he can't get back in time for the Smite steal, so they're going to have to try to stave this off as much as possible, or just give it up. Good save on the Smite for Vorto, waiting for... actually, he didn't even have Smite, so they just took it out. Vorto somehow got the secure on the Baron, but that was a little risky without him having Smite up. Knowing the Dragon can't Smite, though, it's a little bit less than a 50-50 if your entire team's in the pit. And now on the counter Baron, they're going to look to shove down mid lane and make sure that all the lanes are shoved so that Jupsikid has to back right now. Highlight ultimate's in. He's trying to get in there, making everybody run fast. Clear Space jumps on Purge the Innocent. Purge the Innocent has to flash away. A lot of engages. Vorto actually hits the Let's Bounce on Dragon and Clear Space. They're going to get really low. Cosmic Radiance comes in, just barely saves Jupsikid. He's able to get the Grand Challenge heal off. Sight gets ultimate Shockwave. Boy gets ace in the hole, and Boy is very low. So far, it's a 3 for none for the side of Horny Eboys, and Dragon and Boy are going to walk with their tail between their legs. Low health, and Vorto's still looking for them. Jupsikid teleports top lane to try to get this inhibitor down. He's going to look for the double inhibs here. And his team's going to look for the third one in the mid lane. Their inhibitor's down. They're going to have to push through supers, but they might be able to end the game. 30-second death timers, and they have a wave top lane. They're going to look to push it for the victory here. They're looking for the Nexus towers, but we have Dragon and Boy at full health. Will they be able to do anything to stop it? Jupsikid's jumping on Boy. Boy just gets popped. Vorto's going to CC Dragon as much as he can. His Ragnarok's not back up there, and they kill him. They're going to push for the victory here. That's an ace. There's nobody up for 5 seconds, and what an amazing hold from Horny Eboys. They were able to stave off the aggression until they got their item spikes that they needed to, until Jupsikid could split push as he needed to. And man, what a close game. Eugeniuses had such a huge lead that they just could not push into anything more because the hold was so strong from Horny Eboys. Really amazing display right there from both teams, and a 2-1 victory for Horny Eboys. Amazing display right there. Let's see what the damage charts look like. Something I haven't done for a minute. But we see a lot of damage coming out from Purge the Innocent's Orianna. Absolutely massive shockwaves we saw on carries that needed to be taken out. He didn't need to hit any sort of 4-man ultimates just because of how prioritized all of his shockwaves were, and that was really amazing to see. Boy was not able to keep the rest of his team alive as much as he wanted to. Did outdamage the Olaf, but was not able to help his team deal enough damage. Now, I know Clear Space was really trying to keep that carry level high with the rise, but he got picked off so many times by Vorto. Vorto hit so many Let's Bounces onto the clear space that he could not output the damage that he needed to, and Vorto was huge that game for the same reason. Overall, Kid with a massive lead was able to push his lead and make some great plays, great teleports, great looks everywhere around the map, and Horny Eboy was able to stave off until he got his item spikes as well, till he could be as strong as Clear Space and everybody else was. So overall, great performance from every member. Rootclaw with the amazing Cosmic Radiances to make saves. Kid with the amazing split pushes, teleports, and being able to rotate. Vorto with the great engagements to stave off holds by getting picks. Percy Innocent with amazing pick shockwaves. And Horny Eboy outputting the damage that he needed to without playing too overly aggressive. Overall, what an amazing performance from both teams. And we will be back shortly with the post-game interview. Stay tuned. All right, we are back with our post-game interview. We have joined with us today Kid and Horny Eboy himself from the Horny Eboys. They just took a 2-1 victory over Eugeniuses. So I have to ask first, that was an incredible series to watch, and it was a very close one, and I imagine very stressful. How did you keep your mentality in check when you were down so heavily in that last game?
I'll just say it's not. Our mentality was not in check. We were tilting. We were flaming each other. We were yelling at each other like, "Don't fight, don't fight." We're looking to scale. You know, like I'm on split push. Eventually, I'll just be able to solo Kled, and eventually it happened. It worked out. You know, enemy did make some key mistakes that we capitalized on, but we also threw like, we did not play our matches properly. Like I got solo level 3. Bot lane was losing a turret early because Olaf pressure, etc. Just throughout the game, I was just desperate, man. I was just like, guys, don't die, don't die. Let me just do my thing. And I'm sure my team was feeling the same way. Just play safe, you know, but don't lose objectives at the same time. It was really awkward.
No, it was definitely fun to watch. We saw the stave that you guys had to just hold them off for so long at your inhibitors, but you hit every single time, allowing Horny Eboy to get the items that he needed to be able to hold 4v5, and then you were able to split push and get those teleports in as necessary. It was beautiful to watch. Now, before this game, you had previously lost to Eugeniuses, in what was, I understand, was a troll game, but also was apparently a lot of tilting happening during the troll game too. This is my understanding of it, anyways. So what did you do? I guess A, to prepare going into this one, or B, to fix the whole tilting mentality that happened from the last game.
So you're talking about game 2?
I'm talking about the prelims.
Like we played them game 1 or the first yesterday.
I think you played them. Yeah.
Okay.
The second game you played yesterday. I think.
Okay. Honestly, I don't think our team was really worried about what happened yesterday. We came in today being like, we're looking to win. It's just unfortunate it went that, like, it was crazy. That series was crazy. It was a good series.
Definitely an amazing series to watch. How did you? I guess I have to ask: is it only in the games that you were behind that you don't just flash in an int, or is that every game and I just didn't see it this time? How is that? How does that work? Because this game you played very safe and it was impressive.
So when it comes down to the last game and the game actually matters, I tend to play a lot safer. But usually when we're ahead or like the game's even, I'm gonna try to like put out the most damage as much as I can. So sometimes that results in like me flashing forward to like put out more damage, and usually that like they'll see my positioning and then they'll capitalize on that. But when the game matters, I tend to play more reserved.
So during that game, we talked a little bit about the mentality that you guys had, but who was really keeping you guys in check? Who was calling the shots and calling to stop the shots if they needed to be stopped? Like, who was keeping everybody in check during those trying times in Game 3?
It's more of like a team effort. We're usually saying like, oh, like just let Ethan split, draw pressure. We're scaling up. We have like Caitlyn and Ori, so we can just clear waves, set up traps. They can't just team fight us. So yeah, it's like a team effort. We're trying to just stall it out and then let Ethan do his thing.
All right. Well, they're still playing the other semifinal round, Eugeniuses versus Omewa Shinderu. Is there anything that you guys are gonna do to prepare going into this next game, or you just want to get your stomachs full and try to reset?
Yeah, we're probably gonna get it like quick by 2 and just calm down. You know, I think I'm still like heated. Like that game was tough.
It looked tough. I was stressed watching it and casting it. But it was an incredible series to watch. Watching the split push into the immediate teleport to get the kills that you needed to stave off the 4v5 hold was quite impressive, and I can't imagine that it was anything easy on your guys' mind. So I'm gonna let you guys go to eat. We'll cut this interview short a little bit, but before that, is there anything that you guys want to say to your fans or your sponsors out there?
You first, dude. What you gotta say?
Nah.
Look, GT LAN, like
Yeah,
esports club,
thanks to GT
League
Club for
Club.
hosting this LAN.
League Club, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of trouble first day, but they worked really hard to like make it better today, and it's a lot better today. I'm really happy about it.
Yeah, so far no issues.
Yeah, there's been no connectivity issues. That's dope. Well, they are looking for sponsors. They're looking to be recruited for teams and stuff, So if you watch these VODs, you're welcome to reach out to them. You saw their in-game names. Just add them on League, especially if you're a Rioter. Go ahead and have a bite to eat, guys. Amazing game. We'll see you in the finals.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
All right, guys. We will be back in probably about an hour with the finals of the GT LAN Spring 2018. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon.